Over the past 130 years or so, Mirboo North has grown from a very small community centred around the rail line from Morwell to a town blessed with all the facilities needed to sustain a vibrant and ever-growing population. A recent arrival or visitor to the town might think that these things are just the result of either state or local government funding. However, nothing could be further from the reality. If we look closely at the things that shape our town, they all have one thing in common. They all exist because of the sustained labour of volunteers. For these people, sometimes many years had passed before their dreams were realised. They all understood what a vibrant community needs and indeed deserves. In addition to these physical improvements to the community, others worked tirelessly to provide a cultural environment that both our local community and visitors could enjoy. The annual Italian Festa in February attracts thousands from all over the state each time it's held. The Mirboo North Primary School Art Show, held yearly, is also well supported as it provides funds for continued improvements in our primary school. The annual Artigraph Festival is held in conjunction with the art show each Mother's Day weekend. It's enthusiastically represented by many volunteer organisations, even when the May weather is less than ideal.
No, I've still got your smile so looked in my mind. I swear I won't let you go. It's taking its toll on me. And also on you now. So
Mirboo North Arting presents several musical events in the Old Shire Hall each year, with an emphasis on emerging local musicians.
Changing spaces.
While these events help sustain Mirboo North's cultural needs, what about those things that are there every day for the community? The refurbished Mirboo swimming pool is a perfect example of what can be achieved through active volunteering, as noted by the member for Eastern Victoria, Ms Harriet Shing, during the official opening of the pool.
I congratulate everyone who's advocated with this Mirboo North specific tenacity and stamina to get things done. You are famous for your endurance in making sure that your community gets the very best possible outcomes, even though the journey may be long.
The newly opened Mirboo North Medical Centre is another expression of what volunteering over many years is able to achieve. Dr Sonia Moncrief at its official opening.
Yes, and we were all really working just to one goal, and that's trying to improve the health of our community, and all working towards that, and now we've got this most magnificent facility to do that.
Other permanent examples to illustrate volunteering at its best include the Walter Tuck Reserve and Club Rooms, the new home of the Community Op Shop, the Mirboo District Community Foundation, and the Community Bank. So what drives volunteers to keep motivated till their efforts come into fruition? To find out, we talked to three local people who have been there for the long haul. Mary Baker, Bernice Snell and Joe Piper. Mary has been involved in saving the Mirboo North pool from closure for many years. What motivated her?
I would have started over 30 years ago when the kids started being involved in their various sports, with netball, basketball and swimming club. And I took on roles as I was needed, be it team manager or secretary, president, whatever needed doing. For the pool, it was the fact that we didn't have a family disabled change room, and as a parent of a child with a disability, I knew the difficulties that presented for parents and carers.
What sort of things did she do to raise money to save it from closure?
Lots of sausage sizzles, we do Mirboo North Idol.
Rebels won't see me cry, but I might kinda wanna call you tonight. Pour me a drink, but don't make it too strong, 'cause I need a little kicker to help me move on. Could say I don't
What does Mary get out of volunteering?
The rewards that you reap, it's just amazing. You meet so many great people, and it is a lot of fun.
Joe Piper has been involved in local football since he came to town. What was his motivation?
Came from a great friend of mine who collared me one day and said, "You got a young bloke, haven't you?" And I said, yeah. And he goes, is he doing Auskick this year? I said, well, I think he will. He goes, good, then you're going to coordinate it.
Some 15 years ago, he took 3 months-long service leave to supervise the construction of the new club rooms at the Recreation Reserve. Why did he do this?
Because it needed to be done. Look, the easy thing would have been to have a very slow project. The motivation was there from a number of clubs. It was a football club, it was a cricket club, it was a recreation reserve, it was a shire. We all were motivated to do something. And to capture that motivation and to keep the volunteers on track and the tradespeople that were giving so much of their time and effort, that it had to be done and it had to be a snowball effect.
Bernice has been associated with local sport as a volunteer for many years.
I guess I started volunteering with children at kindergarten, primary school, a little bit at the secondary college, and also with the cricket club, helping in the kitchen, afternoon tea and that type of thing, and also during the football seasons, working in the canteen.
Despite her volunteer work, she was still able to raise a successful family, including an Olympic champion. How did that come about?
We had a lot of boys that lived in our street when Belinda was growing up. She was about the only girl and about 14 boys, and they'd all get out and play basketball. And the next door neighbours had a great basketball ring and backboard, and they would challenge each other all the time, and I think that really helped her with the basketball and fighting her brothers to get the ball.
As we've seen, sometimes a person's volunteer involvement springs from a deeply personal motivation. More recently, Joe undertook supervision of the construction of the town's new medical centre.
I suppose I had an experience in 2014 where I needed a quick call, the expertise of our medical centre, and they were forthcoming. And subsequently, I'm alive today to tell the tale.
All three of these people, through their efforts, have left their mark on Mirboo North. But not many people would know of their tireless work. They just quietly go about doing what they do best, serving their local community. These people have all sat on various committees over the years and have distinguished themselves by getting stuck into the task at hand. If you're on a committee, perhaps you should thoughtfully consider, am I contributing the best way that I can, or am I just ticking a box? Within the Mirboo North community, there are plenty of people with good ideas to make things better. But what is really needed are more of the people we have seen. In this community, there are plenty of passionate people willing to lend a hand. Joe Piper explains.
To get a home game happening, we need over 130 volunteers every week. None of them have a financial gain. They give of their time freely. Why? Because they're engaged.